Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday night lease option live stream. I'm Justin Chamnish, your host. The live chat is open. I want to hear from you tonight. I'm glad you're watching us. I'm glad you're tuning in. We have something very, very unique and special for you tonight because here at realestatewholesalersclub.com, we are all about helping you get to that next deal, or maybe it's that first deal. You know, that's really the most important deal, is that first one or the next one. Sometimes that's the only deal that matters, and we want to help you accomplish that tonight. So I've got a very special treat. Greetings to you. Go ahead and say hello in the chat. It's right here. It's open. Hey Kenny, thanks for opening up the chat for us. And if anybody else wants to go ahead and put your hello in there, let us know you're watching. Also, as we're going through the night, feel free to ask questions. This is a very interactive session, and I want you to participate. I want you to get what you need from this tonight to move your real estate business forward. I've had special moments happen in meetings like this where it was almost like, I don't know if anybody's ever watched the old Blues Brothers movie, where there's a scene in there where they go to church and there's this big light that shines down on them, and he's like, hey, I'm on a mission for God now. It's kind of a comedic scene, but I've had moments like that happen in sessions like tonight, okay, where I really have been like, wow, I really was enlightened, I was illuminated, I was triggered maybe even to take the step that I was refusing to take or didn't know to take even in some cases. And it's moved me and my business and my family forward. Tonight, we have something very special for you. We are going to delve into the realm of land flipping, where this is a venture where savvy decisions will yield gold. So joining us tonight is Brent Bowers, a real estate investor, a coach, and the co-host of the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. Brent's journey began in 2007, propelled by a desire to balance his military duty with family time. Now, you may have seen some interviews before, so we're going to try to get really in depth into the process of land flipping tonight, and not quite so much into Brent's personal history, because today Brent's expertise shines through the Land Sharks program, where he shapes budding real estate enthusiasts. So get ready to absorb invaluable insights into land flipping, tailored for hungry students eager to make their mark. All right, welcome, Brent Bowers. Let's unearth all that we can about land flipping in the next little while. Thanks for being here, Brent. So glad you're here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Got the victory bell ready. We're going to smash this thing tonight. Love to hear everyone else's wins. Anybody else doing land deals? Anybody else that did a real estate deal? Let's celebrate that as well. Justin, you're changing lives out there. I haven't known you for a tremendous amount of time, but I've seen really quickly how many people you're helping, and we're in another group together. So honor to be on the Shut Up Money podcast, or just the Shut Up Money show, actually, not the podcast.
Yeah.
But this is
a
amazing.
lot of names, man. The Shut Up Money show, the LOL show is the lease option live stream. But tonight, I want to change the LOL show to the Land Offer Letter show.
I love that. LOL, land offer letter, laugh out loud, lease option live stream. I love doing lease options. By the way, I did a lease option 2.5 years ago, and these sorry dogs, they were supposed to buy it in 2 years. Well, all this, I literally heard from their mortgage broker 2 days ago saying they're closing October 31st, 1031, right? 1031.
Wow.
Well, I'm celebrating them. That's amazing. I forgot all about this thing. They haven't even reached out to me in 2.5 years. I was like, oh crap, let me make sure they've been paying their rent on time. Sure enough, they have. Well, now I got to do a 1031 tax exchange on 1031. So I found a commercial building already, so we're good to go. But that's like, we can talk about taxes tonight. Yeah. So that's one thing. I want to say a negative thing about land. We don't get tax benefits.
Really? Yeah, so you can't like depreciate like a house. Is that what you mean? So people depreciate a house, they get to write off a bunch of stuff on their taxes. That doesn't happen on land.
No, because think about it. Like houses and buildings, they're like apples. When they touch the ground, something eats them or they rot. But land,
Right.
it cannot deteriorate. So the government gives us all these benefits for owning buildings, but land, they know there's nothing to deteriorate or to depreciate. But that's okay.
Yeah.
We can show you some, like there's so many techniques to eliminate taxes by buying those buildings with land profits.
Right. Wow, that's awesome. I'm really excited to get into these topics and details, and I know we're limited on what we can get into in one session, but thanks for being here, man. Let's start talking about money first of all, because
All right.
students really right away they want to know what's it
Yeah.
going to cost typically upfront for me to get my financial commitment here. What's involved in me acquiring a piece of land? It sounds like I'm going to have to buy some land or something to do land flipping. How does this work if I'm going to create? Because you're telling me that I can get passive income. Okay, if anybody out there follows, all right, Brent, he talks about passive income. All right, so how do I do that without having a big bunch of money, or do I need a big bunch of money? How much do I need? And let me know, like, because I don't know, I might not be able to do it.
Yeah, so I love talking about money. I've gotten pretty good at talking about money, especially with my wife. No, um, so the reason why I got into land investing was because of money. I needed a way out of the military. I wanted to quit my job, and I had a massive problem. I had a lot of credit card debt. I had just moved across the country. I was a brand new second lieutenant in the military. Just had a brand new baby. All these amazing things going on in my life happening for me, but I was freaking out because I was preparing for my third combat deployment when I found land investing, thank God, on a podcast just like this. I mean, God, there's so much amazing things out there, like podcasting shows. And I heard a guy talking about flipping land, and the way he was doing it, he was going to the tax auctions and buying this land. Well, I had a big problem. I didn't have money. I had no money to go and buy land. And I'm sure a lot of people maybe listening to this are in a similar situation as I was in back in 2016. No money, credit card debt, brand new baby, all these excuses, right? I had a truck payment and I was preparing to go on my third combat deployment. So I was going to leave my family for another year and a half, and I could not stomach doing that again. Um, so I I literally took action immediately. I started mailing postcards to landowners that were behind on their taxes. And I'm going to get to that money. I promise you, Justin, I will answer that question. But I just wanted to kind of paint the picture
Yeah.
of the situation I was in, because like I might like I always tell people, like, I wish I would have been born rich rather than so darn good looking. But at the end of the day, like, I wasn't, so I had to take action, and I get a little instruction. I take the action. So I heard that guy talking about buying land, and he was doubling his money overnight. Like, he'd buy it at the tax auctions, which things have changed quite a bit. You used to be able to go to the tax auctions. Now the whole world is tuning in online and they're bidding. So
Right.
good luck if you're buying at the tax auctions. There's people that teach that. I'm sure there's people making money, but why not get the land before it goes to the tax auction and that owner loses it forever? Why not deal with the owner directly? So I started mailing a postcard. Michael Foster. All right. Hey, what's going on? I started mailing postcards to people that were severely behind on their taxes. And this land was so inefficient. It wasn't buildable. A lot of it was landlocked. And I didn't know this at the time. I was just falling forward and making mistakes. This was county held tax lien list. So what does that mean? The tax lien investors were not even paying the back taxes because this was garbage land. I didn't know that, but my phone absolutely exploded with people saying, "Yeah, I'll sell it to you." So I didn't have the money to buy it. So I'll get the stuff under contract at a smoking hot, like, no brainer land price deal. Like, I mean, $285, $500. And I would assign my contract. I would sell my contract. Now, did I do that on all of them? No, because I wasn't smart enough to. I started figuring that out after a few land deals. But like, that first land deal was $285, sold it for 5,000. So I got around the money issue because I didn't have any money. So that wasn't an option for me.
So this you've got me hooked now, man. Wow, you're good. How can a student start to begin to recognize undervalued land
Yeah.
and negotiate a favorable deal like that?
I like how
Because
you say undervalued land. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Justin.
no, go ahead.
I like how you say undervalued land because a lot of it could be undervalued, but I'll tell you the way that I'm doing it now personally, and it's evolved since 2016 to 2023. I now go in and look for areas where there's demand. How do I know where the demand's at? That's where the land is selling. I see it on Zillow. I see it on Redfin. How do you see where the land's selling? Go to all filters on Redfin. First you got to put in your city or your area, Orlando, Florida, or wherever you're at, and then go to all filters. And you want to see land that's sold in the last like 30 days. Now I'm going to see little clusters of red dots or land selling, whether on Zillow or Redfin. And once I see those clusters, now I know that I can figure out what that land's worth. I can figure out the price per square foot or the price per acre. That's too high tech to get into on this show. But once you see what it's selling for, and you can do that with a spreadsheet, or you can do it with a yellow legal pad, like I used to do, because I don't really know how to work Excel. Don't tell the military that. I got friends to help me with that. But and I was an Army officer. I didn't know how to work Excel until recently. But well, the reason why I know how to work it now because it makes me money. But then I was like, who cares? This is military stuff. But anyhow, I figure out what it's selling for, the price per acre, and another important thing, I see the land sales realtors, the land sales specialists. This is my boots on ground. But once I find this, I pull a list of landowners. I go to propstream.com, pull a list of landowners in that neighborhood. Yes, I said neighborhood. I micro down. Real estate's micro. And now I start sending them what I call my LOL, the land offer letter, or lease option live. I send that LOL to them. And let's just say those lots are selling for $25,000, $30,000 on the retail side. Well, I'm going to send them an offer for like 40, 50, 60 cents on the dollar. So I'm sending them offers at like 15,000 if it's selling for 30,000. And here's the thing. I know our one of our friends, Claude Diamond, says it's not a numbers game.
Yeah.
But I treat it like it's a numbers game. I'm making, how he says make 5 offers a day? I'm trying to make 20, 30, 40 offers a day. And some will, some won't, so what? But the ones that accept my offer, they sign it and they email it back or they fax it back. And yes, I said fax machine. Myfax.com costs you $10 a month. Or they'll mail it back. And every time I send almost like 800 of these, one comes back that I'm going to make around $10,000 to $12,000 on. So that's how I found the undervalued land. To answer your question, your short question.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So to recap a little bit briefly here, it doesn't require a bunch of capital to start doing the business in the sense that you're buying land and owning land and becoming some kind of land czar or something. You're not doing that. You're literally wholesaling land, and this is how you're finding the motivated sellers. You're making a bunch of offers. This land offer letter, which I wish I could see.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Justin, because I knew I was coming on the LOL show, the
Oh boy!
LOL,
Oh boy! Here we
Shut Up
go.
Money show, and I called one of my guys on Fiverr because I had no clue how to do this stuff. I said, "Can you make this land offer letter available for people?" And we did. So thank God for tech people. If you go to the landsharks.com/LOL, as in land offer letter, the landsharks.com/LOL. We're going to ask you for your name, your email, your phone number, and it will be emailed to you. Please check your spam. We've had issues with that, but it does go to the spam box for some reason.
So you said it's give us the website again.
The land sharks, and that's plural sharks.com/LOL. The landsharks.com/LOL.
/LOL. All right. I'm going to make sure that this QR code also is that. So if you guys are into that thing, the QR code scanning thingy.
Holy cow, this is high tech. This is so amazing. I like that color too. I've never seen anybody put the land sharks with that maroon background.
Blood in the water.
Beautiful.
Blood in the water.
You know what a group of sharks is called? A shiver.
Really? Whoa.
Or a school. Shivers eat schools of fish. So I don't like to say sharks are schools because fish are schools. And we eat fish.
Wow.
For breakfast.
Shiver. I hope I never run across a shiver of sharks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool thing.
It sounds awesome. I like this, man. I'm having a good time. Thank you for this generous offer here, this land offer letter. QR code down here at the bottom. It is thelandsharks.com/LOL. If you want to go there, get it because this magical? I
No, there's
mean,
no magic.
because
This is
you're
work.
making a lot of offers here, but you're using this letter. Is the letter magical or what's?
No, I mean, there's nothing magical about it. I mean, it works. It gets open. Let me tell you, if you want to spice this up even more, like me and my wife used to sit in our basement after we put young Zechariah to bed when he was a newborn, and we'd write the envelope. Now, I would print these things. I would print the postcards, but once we figured out, like if you do a little handwriting on the outside of that envelope, it looks like a letter from someone you know. And boy, does the response rate go up dramatically. So there's ways you can make it like magic, but no, it's just getting the offers in front of people. And here's the thing about land. You guys that can talk people into selling their houses at discounts, I'm just fascinated. If anybody wants to come be an acquisition manager with me, come on over. If you can talk people into selling their houses at discount, but land, well, let me back up. Houses people are very emotional about. They raised their families, their parents, or they might have even been raised in the house. But land, they never lived in it. They never lived on it. They've never seen it, or they inherited it, or they got it through probate, or you name it, or Uncle Bob left it to them and they couldn't stand Uncle Bob. So they want to get rid of it, especially if it's a child or a sibling and they inherit it somehow or another, and you tell them a way that they can make money off of something that they didn't pay for. Oh, it's like you are relevant, you are significant, and they're like
Wow.
bowing down sometimes.
They love you. It's great. Give us a give us a good example here of like out of a real life. I know you've given us the helicopter overview, but give us a real deal, a real life.
Yeah, I could do two. I can do the one I just did on well, we sold land on our website this weekend, but I want to talk about the one we did
Oh,
last
can I mention
Thursday.
that too?
Yeah.
I've got right here a QR code right here in the corner where you can go see Brent's land for sale site. Okay,
Yes.
so if you want to check out in real world like what he's really doing, right here, everybody. All right, if you want the land offer letter, hit this QR code. Okay,
And I
and
will
some of
say
you are
that
going. Thanks for going, guys.
yeah, thank you so much. And I will say that website has not been updated in almost 2 years, except for yesterday when I had the Mark one sold. So from time to time, people will go on there, and so I've got a lot of inventory. I went crazy buying land because I know that's like I couldn't go wrong. Um, but someone went on online over the weekend and bought two parcels and contacted the owner of landmoto.com on Monday and said, "Hey, we haven't heard from the guy." And Scott Todd, the owner, calls me on Monday, said, "Hey, Brent, you got a buyer. They bought some land. They haven't heard from me." I was like, "Oh, shoot. Okay." So he reached out to him. He had purchased two. So my assistant reached out to do his paperwork. And I said, "See if he wants to buy a third one. We got another one in that area."
Wow.
So for an additional 200 and something dollars a month, we threw on a third parcel of land. So he gave us $750 down, and now he's paying us $450 a month for the next 84 months at 12% interest. I don't even know how long 84 months is. I think that's 7 years actually. 5 times 6, that's 30. No, geez. Like how many years is that? So 60 months is 5 years. So 72 is six. So 7 years, we're going to get $450 a month. That's a truck payment. Or no, that's a
Yeah.
used truck payment, I guess. But
Right.
so that's the one that just happened. But you know, have grace on me with that website. Haven't updated it in a while because I do a lot more expensive parcels of land now, and the realtors market it. The realtors sell it for me. They're paying all the subscriptions to these land sites. I used to work so hard to sell this cheaper land, and we all have to start somewhere. I didn't have the confidence to do the big land deals. And yes, Kenny, right? You're right. God bless you. That is mailbox money.
Mm.
That's going to come in every single month. We've got almost 68 of these paying us every single month now. I couldn't imagine having 68 doors that I've got to maintain. Like I've got only a few rental properties, and there's something breaking, I swear, almost every couple weeks. It's always something breaking. And it's annoying. Even though you have property managers, they
Right.
still call you and then they upcharge you and all these
Right.
additional things. So
Exactly. Always at the most inconvenient times.
it's always on Sunday. or Friday, the heat goes out and it's like, oh great, now I got to pay that emergency fee because it went out on a Friday after 5 p.m.
Exactly.
But we were talking about deals, an example deal. I've got so many. I want to talk about the first one.
That's a great deal. Can I put
Yeah, yeah.
pause on that one because you have just opened up another big topic because you just described in that case study a bit of financing,
Yeah.
and financing can be challenging for new students and students, old students even. Are there creative financing options? Are you wholesaling creative finance land offers you've made to homeowners, or
Yeah.
are you doing some other arrangement? And how do you suggest that students explore some of these ideas when doing this land flipping?
Yeah, I get as creative as absolute possible. I love, so on the more expensive parcels of land, I love when the seller finances me. Like, and a lot of times they'll finance at 0% interest. And then I turn around and sell it to someone else and finance them. Because here's the thing, Americans think, how much is it going to cost each month? Like, they don't care about what the total price is. That deal where I just talked about, excuse me, 450 a month for the next 84 months at 12% interest plus 750 down. That's like,
Right.
do the math. That's going to be
Right.
$38,000.
Yeah.
And you know what I bought that land for? It's 3 parcels of land in Finleyville, Pennsylvania. I've never been to Finleyville, never
Wow.
heard of it. It's just a land deal that came across our plate. We bought it for around $3,000. And you can look this stuff up. Look up Zech buys land. That's the name it's in. Zech buys land. But we bought it for 3,000. We're going to collect 38,000 in payments over the next whatever 7 years. That's a
Wow.
pretty good return on investment. I'm no
Oh yeah.
mathematician, so I can't figure that out. But yeah,
So you do buy some lots.
oh yeah. Now I used to assign a lot of them because I didn't have the money. Now I've seen the power of this. It's way better
Oh
to buy it and control it and seller finance it. Now
wow.
I love buying them. I I prefer to buy most of them unless it's an area where I'm just not sure and it's more expensive than what I want to pay. Like we just assigned the contract on one in Yoder, Colorado. It's east of Colorado Springs. We assigned it for, I think we made about $18,000 assignment fee, and we actually split that with another investor because he brought the deal to our plate and said, "Hey, can you guys help us sell this?" And I said, "Sure." So we blasted out to a bunch of cash buyers that were buying land in the area for cash. How do you find the cash buyers? Propstream.com shows you who's paying cash for things.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You probably have a pretty sweet affiliate code for PropStream for someone to get a free trial.
I probably do. Yeah. I probably do somewhere, man. Everybody has PropStream. If you don't have PropStream, you ought to have it. And if you need the discount code or whatever, let me know. But I'll get it to you. But are you able to make offers to the homeowners, owner finance? I mean, not the homeowners. I'm sorry. I'm a single family residence guy, and I get.
No, I get
Um,
it. Yeah,
so
we do all the
w-
time.
so you're not just making cash offers to these landowners. You're making creative offers as well, right?
No, I actually should start doing that. And I know we have some land sharks in our community that actually do offer on the seller financing. But we start with that first initial cash offer with that land offer letter. So I'm sending an
Okay.
actual offer to these owners. And sometimes they'll call and say, "Listen, I want to sell, but there's no way I'll sell for that price. You're lowballing me." And we have a conversation, we do the dance, and we figure out, what would you like to see? What would put a big smile on your face? And most of the time we can't pay anywhere near that. But if we just can't get them to our low cash price, and sometimes they'll be at our low cash price, if it's a higher, like more expensive land deal, like over 20, 30, $40,000, we'll say, "Hey, what if we gave you a little bit more and we paid you payments?" Or, "Hey, I know you want 50,000. I'm at 35, but if we were to give you 40,000, would you
Hmm.
consider that over time and payments?" Like, what do you mean? Like, that's the question. What do you mean by that? Well, I mean, what would help you right now in the next 6
Hmm.
months and what would be a good monthly payment to continue giving you for the next 5 years. And most of the time, it's not for the 40,000 they need. They really need 22,000 to repair that roof, and they're really happy about getting that roof repaired that's leaking, and then an additional $500 a month for the next 5 years, 60 months. So yes, we always have that conversation. It's just asking questions and being human, and like, hey, I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to serve you here.
Right. You really said something powerful about Americans, in when it comes to your exit strategy on some of these deals where you're the owner financer
Mm-hmm.
and you're selling, like you gave the example, this property you paid just a few $1,000s for, and you're collecting several $100s a month at 12% interest. This is a good retirement plan, right? I mean, if I've got a small nest egg and I'm looking to create some kind of an income for myself to help myself fund myself, is this am I thinking right? Is this something good for people that want it? How long does this last? That when was the balloon and all that? I missed that part.
Yeah, I don't do balloons on my my seller financing because I think that sets a buyer up for failure. This particular deal that happened over this weekend or yesterday, we just got the land contract signed by our buyer, but this one's 84 months, so no balloon. He pays it off in 84 months, and he is a land owner. Now, my more expensive parcels, the one we sold last Thursday, that one I bought for $153,000. So I used some of my own cash to buy that one. And I also have a private lender that put up 65,000 of that money. So do the math. I think I came up with like 89,000 out of my own cash, which I build up my land account to buy that kind of stuff. And I had a lender because I always want to use lenders as much as possible. Guys, if you
Yeah.
want to join me and be a lending partner, come on over. Like, you don't have to build a land business. Just reach out to me. We'll do some deals together. But my lending partner paid me 65,000. She's getting 12% interest, and I told her it's probably gonna be about 1 year. Well, it took us almost 6 months to sell this land. It's right outside of Daytona Beach. I paid.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, it's 5 acres too. I paid 153,000 total for this land. We just went under contract, and these guys are buying it from me for 225. I paid 153. They're coming to the table with $25,000 down, and they're going to pay me almost $2,000 a month for the next 30 years, and they're paying 10.99% interest. So
Wow.
how can I pay 12% interest and my buyer's paying 10.99? Well, they're paying 10.99% interest on a $200,000 mortgage. I'm
Right.
paying 12% interest on a $65,000 mortgage. And a lot of people are like, well, how does he do that? So I am doing what's called a wraparound mortgage. So my buyers are coming in, they're giving me 25 grand. I'm not giving that to my lender. That's going in my pocket. And oh, by the way, I asked my lender, how long do you want to make
Yeah.
12% interest? She said, as long as possible. So she's good
Yeah.
hanging on for a while.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm getting almost 2,000 a month, and I'm paying my lender $600 a month, interest only.
Nice.
So just do the math. I mean,
Yeah.
geez, that's not a bad payday. It's like
Yeah.
1,400 a month positive cash flow.
What I like is this is so simple. Nothing that you just shared there was over my head. Which that's saying something because a lot is over my head. But I understood everything you just explained there, and the math and the wraparound and all of it really makes a lot of sense. It's just very simple. And I have this philosophy about business and making money that if it ain't simple, it probably doesn't make money.
Well, this is going to blow your mind, Justin. You're not gonna understand this. So for the next now more than likely these buyers are not going to pay 30 years.
Okay.
Absolutely not. It never happens. Well, the longest note I've ever had was almost 7 years now. They sell when the market goes down. They sell when the market goes up. Or what they're planning on doing is getting a construction loan in about 3.5 years when they sell their business, whatever. There's something going on where they were like, can you at least go 3.5 years? And said, absolutely, 30 years, no problem. Why 30 years? Because I want that payments to come in as long as possible. Plus, the banks designed 30-year mortgage to be front and loaded interest. So for the first 7 years, they're only going to pay this thing down $10,000 if they pay over, what is that, 84 payments or
Right.
84 payments.
Yeah.
It only goes down 10,000. But what's 84 times 2,000? That's like 160 something $1,000.
Right.
Like I again, public math scares me. And
Yeah.
it goes back to when I used to have to write on the board, and all my
Yeah.
friends would laugh at, or they weren't my friends. They would just laugh at me.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so I'm going to collect 180 something thousand in payments, and the loan's going to only go down $10,000. That's why the banks are the biggest, prettiest buildings in every city and every state. But going back to that 7-year thing, they're going to get a bank financing and a construction loan. I'm going to be paid off eventually, and I'll get all my profit. But here's what's going to blow your mind. For the next, even if they pay me for 30 years and this goes a very long time, do you know how many calls I'm going to receive on this property for repairs that I need to make because the sewer line stopped up or the toilet won't flush or the roof's leaking?
Right. None.
Not a single one.
Right. That's nice. That's beautiful. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from with this, and I tell you what, it's pretty enticing, man. I mean, it's very tasty. Everything I've heard so far, but I'm curious about the realtors. You mentioned realtors, land specialist realtors, and then it sounds like you're selling to a lot of investor builder people or investors or people who want to develop the land, which I guess makes sense. You're not dealing with mom and pops, or are you dealing with like, I mean, instead of being business to consumer, you're kind of business to business on this side of the thing, or can you talk about that?
Yeah, the buyers come in all different shapes and sizes. I've done a lot of lots in the middle of nowhere, like, 10, 20, 40 acre lots. I've got a ton of land out in Arizona. I've sold to college students that like drive their RV across the country and they want to park on their own land. I've sold to truck drivers, sold to builders, developers. Like we've got one that's 3 acres on 4 lanes of highway, backs up to a golf course in Colorado Springs. Like that one, I'm praying we can sell that to a developer because my partners want to build on it. I'm not a builder, but it comes in all shapes and sizes. Even on the buy side, I've bought a lot of land from LLCs. I mean, I probably bought 30, 40 properties from LLCs.
So you're not really just selling to investor guys. It's me. It's the guy that wants to build a trailer on something, or put a trailer on something, or maybe park an RV. It's recreational land sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's a place where I want to put a house.
let me tell you that
So
mobile home plots of land land you could put an RV on, that is pure gold. People love that. People absolutely love that. They're looking for affordable housing.
we
What's
talking
more
14 miles, 16 miles from the next local town. Like this is out in the woods. Is this what we're talking about? Because that's what when you describe a trailer in the middle of
yeah,
some land somewhere. This is what I'm thinking. Way out in a county.
it's a mix. Generally I got to get that land for a lot cheaper. I love doing the infill buildable lots. Here's my definition of infill buildable lots. There's usually power at the lot line, electricity, and water and sewer. Those are the easy peasy lemon squeezy ones. Like you buy it for 25, sell it for 55. Now out like 14 miles out, those are the ones where we have to get for a little bit less. Generally there's electricity's further away. They got to drill a well. They need to put a septic system. So there's a little bit more work to do to that land. And those are the really good ones to sell or finance. My infill buildable lots, those are kind of quick cash deals. Like we just sold 6 of them in Florida, just outside of Orlando, Florida, and a builder bought all 6 of them. We listed them individually at 55,000 each, but we got an offer for all 6 of them at 35 each. I said, accept the offer. My realtor's like, are you kidding me? You're leaving a lot of money on the table, 15,000 per lot. And I said, hey, we're still going to be profitable. I've never seen a company go out of business that made profit. Sell them. And we had that land exactly 62 days, and we made a nice, sweet profit on it.
Nice, nice. So where does the realtor come in?
Yeah,
A couple
great
places or
question.
just one?
Yeah. So, for instance, let's just say, because I'm sitting in Florida here, and we have a piece of land right now we're looking at in Alabama. It's got waterfront. It's waterfront access on a lake, and we called a couple realtors. How did we find these realtors? We went to redfin.com and we looked at the comps around that neighborhood. We found the listed by and we found the bought by. So we copy and paste each one of those, like for 5 or 6 solds. We put it on a Word document and we call the realtor that pops up the most. And that one doesn't answer the phone. We just keep calling. So once we talk to this realtor, we say, hey, I'm looking to buy this 123 Main Street parcel of land. And if we get it, I'd love for you to list it, but I'd like for you to go look at it, take photos and video for me. That is an absolute requirement. They got to put their feet on that land, because if the views are not there, we can make $100,000 mistake big time, especially in like Tennessee. We were about to buy a piece of land in Tennessee. The comps looked great, but the views were not there and the road was terrible. So I backed out of the deal. There was no way we were getting that sold for what I thought it would. So that's where that realtor comes into play. But here's the most important thing, Mr. or Mrs. Realtor, I need your 30-day blowout price. I need your get her done now price, because I'm not going to be sitting on this land more than 30 days. I want this thing gone. Like, I need to price this thing right. And then we also look at what's for sale and we try and price it a little less than everything else. And we offer seller financing. It's just a perfect storm. Why wouldn't they purchase my land over everybody else's?
It makes perfect sense, especially if you're pricing it like that, right? That's exciting because how many real estate transactions? If you're listening out there, by the way, the live chat is open. Put your comment here. Brent will respond to you directly, even. But how many transactions have you ever been involved in real estate where it was you knew a realtor, broker, somebody put their stamp of approval on? Hey, this is the fire sale, not the fire sale, but the get it done now price. Most of the time, we're trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip. If that, but this here is like, hey, get it, flip it, get the money. I like it. Is there something that you should maybe we could tell new people? We've talked about guys like me maybe who want to get involved in something like this to purchase the land, to owner finance it out, to create passive income streams for myself and my family. But what if I'm a new person that doesn't have any experience? I don't have any money either, really, per se. I mean, I have maybe a small amount of money,
Yeah.
maybe a few $1,000s. It makes sense for me, a guy like me, to get coaching. I get that. A new person, what are some mistakes that these folks make? Does it come with the analyzing of the deal, or not networking properly, or what are the pitfalls of being a new guy if I'm trying to do this without coaching? And I know that coaching is really where everybody should go here, especially if you want to do this right. But for folks that are not doing the coaching, where are they really pitfalling here? Does that make sense what I'm saying, Brent?
Yeah. Yeah. One of the biggest ways you can pitfall, and I'm talking about things that I've personally done, mistakes I've made. And here's another resource I'd love to share is my due diligence checklist, or my land buying roadmap map. It's way past my bedtime here. So if I just start talking nonsense, put me to sleep. So I've made so many mistakes. And if anybody wants to get a copy of this due diligence checklist, the roadmap, go to thelandsharks.com/DD as in due diligence. This is 14 things, and these items are all things I made mistakes on. But the biggest one is do not buy land without a title insurance policy. And I hear it now. Brent, what if I can get it for free? Brent, it's only $1,000 for the land. It's only $500 for the land. The title insurance policy is going to cost me over $1,000. Then you probably shouldn't do that deal, because you don't want to inherit someone else's problems. And how did I find this out? It's because I bought a lot of land without title insurance policies. One of these properties, which thank God it turned out well, and I think the seller financing saved my butt. So I was buying a piece of land for a couple $100, and I got it in my name, or I'm sorry, I didn't get it in my name. I got a quit claim deed, and I try not to ever buy on a quit claim deed. So I got it in my name, or I got the deed, but I did not transfer it yet. And I had a buyer at $16,000. I paid $300 for this land. Now I had to do some things. I had to open up this incorporation because the seller, he was a builder and he passed away, and his wife wanted to get rid of the land because she was tired of getting the tax bills. So I bring it to the title insurance company, and they said, Brent, we can't transfer this land. It's got all these liens on it. There's a $4,000 lien from the city, and also there's a $175,000 IRS tax lien. And I was like, oh my goodness, what if I would have recorded this land in my name? I would have went bankrupt, and like I would have lost my secret clearance with the military, blah, blah, blah. So I waited like a year, and I started reaching out to a lot of these guys that were teaching land, and I paid a guy to one-on-one coach me $40,000 because I made a bunch of mistakes, but I also made quite a bit of money really quickly in land. And that's what allowed me to get out of the military, by the way. That was where that beginning story was coming from, that origin story. Sure. But he said, Brent, these things fall off eventually, the IRS tax lien. So I said, okay. So I found who all the investors were going to, like who the investors were using for a title agent, an investor-friendly title agent. So like anybody just starting out, how do you find that? You Google sell my house fast, Wichita, Kansas, or wherever you're at. Sell my house fast, St. Petersburg, Florida, and to call the top 3 people on Google, sell my house fast, Tampa, Florida. Call the top 3 home buyers. Say, hey, I'm just starting out. Can you please recommend to me a good investor-friendly title agent or closing attorney? They're going to steer you in the right direction. 99% of the time, people are going to help you. Right. So I found that person. I said, hey, can we do whatever it takes to clean the title on this property? And she said, yeah. So she looked at it. She said, hey, you're good. Just pay the city the $4,000. I said, great. Let's hold off. I'm going to go find a buyer. The second buyer I got for $35,000, and he was willing to put $5,000 down. So that was going to cover my closing costs, those liens, everything. And then for 72 months, I got like roughly, I think it was $535 a month. They just paid off. And I had that land, I had that quitclaim deed sitting on my filing cabinet for about a year and a half before I finally purchased it. So that's one of the mistakes. Quitclaim deed, not getting title insurance, making sure there's ingress, egress, or entrance to the property. You want to know all these little things. But here's the thing. A lot of people will hesitate because they want to have all the answers. You're never going to have all the answers. I'm still learning things today. I learned something new today. I forget what it was. Florida. A single member LLC, there's no protection for liability. You need to have 2 people in your LLC. I was like, oh, crap. I thought I used to know that when I was in real estate school a long time ago, but I forgot it. So we're learning new things every day.
Wow. So as far as technology goes, what are the digital tools, apps that you recommend that people use, that people employ in this business besides PropStream you mentioned? Is there anything else that people are going to have?
One more thing. I like to keep revenue in the first position. So I don't want anybody spending a lot of money, but I use a program that sends my letters for me because I need to get these letters out fast. Right. I want them going out every day.
Okay.
And this is a great program. It's called Pebble. And if anybody wants to do you use Pebble by chance there?
I don't. Justin? I don't. No, I don't even think I've heard of it.
Oh, it's amazing. It's built by a land investor. I didn't personally build it, but I do have a sweet affiliate link that's going to get you a $50 mail credit and a 14-day free trial if you go to thelandsharks.com/CRM, as in customer relationship manager. It's a CRM. You can make calls through it, but what's best, I use the cheapest version of it, is to send my land offer letters, send my postcards, and it's amazing. When they call in, I get the reference code. These guys have done a great job.
Thelandsharks.com/CRM.
Yep.
You guys, I can't even keep up with all the free stuff that's happening right now. We've got the land. Okay, I was just right out the gate. Honestly, Brent, I was like, I hope I can get the land offer letter. So I'm going to shoot for the land offer letter tonight. That's what I'm going for. That's my goal. That's my prayer. Not only that, the due diligence checklist, and now the CRM, the landsharks.com/CRM. Okay. this is the trifecta of goodness here, guys. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Brent, for bringing this.
Yeah, my
Live
pleasure.
chat's open, everybody. We're gonna wrap up here in about just a few minutes, 10 minutes or less, probably. So, anybody out there that has a question about land flipping, don't let me be the only person asking my questions. You go ahead and ask your questions too. Put them in the chat room. It'll pop up, or put them in the comments where you're watching. It'll pop up right here on the screen. Make sure you go and you hop on this land offer letter stuff, and then if you got a question about that right away, go ahead and shoot that up in the chat. Okay, but this is your chance. We don't get this chance every day. We've got a true bona fide land shark here, and I know that tons of you are always coming to me and asking me how to flip land. Okay, so this is a prized opportunity for you. Now, Brent, how do you recommend students approach their education? Because we haven't really talked about it. I haven't, we're not a pitch fest around here. You didn't pitch anything. I want you to pitch now, okay? Because I I like everything I've heard from the ease of the non emotional sellers, to the buyers that want to make payments, to to the realtors that want to list it for you at sell it now prices. It's all like a beautiful symphony of music to my ears.
Yeah.
So how do students approach this education? Because if they want to get into it, they need to develop some skills to thrive in the business. Are there specific courses or workshops that you recommend that they get involved in right away? Is there a free group that they get their toe in the water, or they just need to jump right in? I mean, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna toot my own horn right here. Is I have an amazing community, the Land Sharks. I mean, we have people doing deals right away, and I don't mean 6 or 8 months from now. I mean like 30, 45 days. One of our members did a $700,000 net profit land deal, just one land deal in January of this year. That's just one example. My old boss from the military just came in. Patrick Drury just did his first land deal in exactly 45 days. He was paid in his bank account that he made $7,500 net profit. How do you approach education? I say heck with the education. I'm going to give you instruction. You got to take the steps. Like if you're just wanting to dip a toe in, then like I'm not the coach for you. But if you seriously want to make money right now and you want to take action right now, you're going to be scared. You're going to make mistakes, but we're here to hold your hand and walk you through the fire and get you there. Because here's the thing, like if I would not have heard that podcast, I was educating myself on the road. My car was my 2007 Honda Civic that the freaking heat and the air conditioner didn't work, was my mobile university. But I heard that guy talking about land and I said, if half of what he's saying is true, this is my way of getting out of the military, because I had already been through one divorce. I was on my way for a second divorce because I was about to be gone for another year and a half, and this time kids were involved. I was freaking out. So I needed to make some action happen. So I was like, I don't have time for no education. I need some dadgum instruction. So I just took action right there. I already knew about this thing called the tax delinquent list. So get out there and start taking action. And if you want some help, you want some direct steps to take. I mean, step by step by step by step, and I walk you along and show you the systems, and then we do multiple support calls a week. And you have my cell phone number. Heck, my cell phone number is right there on this chat right there. I'm accessible. I'm doing land deals, and we're gonna basically pull you across the finish line and get you your first land deal. I probably should tell them how to. Oh, I can't hear you, Justin. You're
I
muted.
was just saying, 863-801-6959.
That's probably not the best place to go because I get a little overwhelmed with the text and the phone calls. But I promise anybody, if they go to thelandsharks.com and schedule a call, I'm going to ask you like 12 questions. I want to know if you've ever done a land deal. You fill out that application, you schedule that call. I personally will be calling you within about 24 hours max of when you fill out that
Okay.
that whatever you schedule that call, and it'll be personally me. So if you want to talk to me, schedule the call. But if you really want to talk to me, you can also text me or call me as well. But I promise you that I'm way more organized if you go to thelandsharks.com and schedule that call.
That's great. So what's nice is that it's not being farmed out to somebody else, like you're like I'm always right away red flag when somebody's like, yeah, one of my team will be meeting with you about this and such, and it's like, okay, your team, what does that mean, and who knows what that means really, but to work with real people, a real guy that's really doing it with a real story. Hey, you've been through a real divorce, you had real, ups and downs in life, made real commitments to your country and, your character and your friends. And I mean, you're somebody like you and me. I mean, you're somebody like you and me. Yeah, you are. But like the listeners and the watchers, we've all been through this kind of stuff. And what's great is that you found a way to just simply approach the business of real estate and put something together in a process that actually makes money. And now you offer that same process to other people. I don't want to ask how much it's going to cost because probably don't want to say that right now.
It's expensive.
I know it's expensive, and it should be because it works. It's one-on-one. I'm taking you through every step of the process type coaching. And so just if you want to do it, everybody, listen, I know Brent personally, and I know if you want to get into this business, if you tell yourself, hey, I can't do it for whatever reason, and you don't schedule with Brent, then for sure you can't do it. So schedule with him. Might as well schedule with him. Okay. See what happens. Just go there and see what happens. This could be what you are looking for. All right. That's I guess all I'll say about that. Brent, I'm super stoked that you're here. I want you to come back, dude. Would you come back if I asked you to come back?
Heck yeah, I love this. This is the highlight. So I took a nap in the middle of the day because I told my wife, I was like, hey, I got to talk at 9:00 tonight. So I'm going to take a nap from like 1 to 3. So I enjoyed this thoroughly. I'm usually early to bed, early to rise. So heck yeah, to answer the question, this was fun.
Great. I'd love to have you come back. Maybe we do something on the reg, like frequently, I don't know how frequently, but that would be really, really cool because I like your groove. I like your vibe. I like what you're doing. I like the simplicity of your business model. And I really want to, I just want to learn more, dude. I mean, hey, somebody here put something in the chat. Let me see. What is this? Somebody's wanting to spam us now. It looks like, I don't know. But I'm not sure what all that is. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching tonight. Is there any last questions for Brent before we call it a session? We're going to put this one in the can and call it done. Anybody? You got anything? Going once? Going twice? Anything you'd like to say, Brent, before we wrap up? Thanks for being here, dude.
No, go out there and take action. The education is everywhere. There's a reason why librarians are not rich. They're surrounded by the knowledge. You just got to put it into action. So Sean said, I'm not spam, LOL. He was trying to tell you about Air AI.
All right. Sorry, man. I'm just unfamiliar with Air AI. I'm not sure what it is, but it says it makes cold calls for us. Okay. Thanks, man. Appreciate the shout out for it. And everybody that watched tonight, thanks for watching. God bless you. And we'll see you again next time. Don't forget to go ahead and scan the QR code. You can go, that'll stay open for as long as the video is available wherever you're watching. So go hit it up there. And a couple of those other links that for the due diligence and for the CRM and all of that, make sure you go get that. Okay. So that will stay open even after the session ends and the live chat closes. All right. So go check out those links and get those things moving. Those are free parts for your business. You might as well put them as tools in your tool bag. Brent, appreciate you, dude. Love you a bunch, man. Thanks. It's so exciting to have you here tonight. I'm really honored, dude. My honor to have you here, dude. I am Dude, I really, 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 really thank you for being here.
God bless, Justin. Thank you for what you do.
Thanks a bunch, dude. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Bye bye.
Thanks everybody. Bye bye.